Good morning. Let's see how this goes. First up, can you see me and can you hear me? Because I can't hear again. That's amazing. It is truly, truly amazing. Welcome to this November 22nd edition of Morning Mindset. It's Thanksgiving Eve, right? Is everybody ready for Thanksgiving? I mean, I know there's still people out there that forgot to pull their turkey out early and they're still dealing with a frozen turkey. So you people, you get that thing under some cold water and start running it, and you'll have a thought out turkey in a couple hours. So it's from your tip from your Uncle Todd. Get out there and get after it. Welcome, Morning Mindset. Here's what I need out of you. You know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather is like in your area. I don't know what the weather's like. My weather app isn't popping up. I guess I'll go look and see real quick. I just took the trash out, which was an ordeal because whatever I have going on with this ear thing, it's like that. What's that tube called? That equestrian or whatever it is from here to here, because I'm so congested. That's now plugged, so it's like I'm underwater. Super weird feeling. But any movement, I'm just like, whoa. I thought the boat was bad, and this is bad. But it's like low 30s. Low 30s, we're going to head up to, looks like mid 40s today. Sunny, seasonal temps, looks like it. Looks like tomorrow we're set for another nice day of 45 on Thanksgiving, and the snow will come this weekend. Yes, it is snow time. So as we got here, as far as what's in the cup, we're double fisting a little this morning. We've got the Arctic Vibe on tap right now, and we're going to follow that up with the Peach Vibe. So that's what we got going on here. Now, most importantly 5 things. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? So we're still playing catch up, since we were gone last week, and we will be gone the next 4 days. Will we be gone? We'll talk about that, what that really means. But things that we've got, I've got DTF that needs to get done. I've got invoices that need to get done. I've got quotes that need to get done. I've got stickers that need to be printed out, and I've got a store to build. So those are our top 5 things to do. On top of that, we've got a bunch of other stuff, but those are the most important 5 things that we need to get done. So let's check in with everybody and see how they were doing today. Darren, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Darren's got 30 degrees and sunny there in Topeka. Nothing in the cup yet. 5 things. Deliver cups, get orders ready for production tomorrow. So what's your plan for tomorrow? What's everybody's plan for tomorrow? Are you working some? Do you have Thanksgiving? What time is your Thanksgiving? How does that all play out? Our Thanksgiving isn't until 1 at my mom's house. So it means we'll leave here about 12:30 or so. Head over there. I'm probably going to work in the morning. My goal is tomorrow, play with some laser stuff. Saturday, Sunday, play with some laser stuff. Friday, be in the office. We will not be printing. We'll not be printing tomorrow. Not be shipping tomorrow. We will not be printing or shipping on Friday either. We're going to be in the office doing stuff, but we're going to wait until Monday. We're going to pull all that off there because I think there's some shopping that Corey wants to do that we might go out and do. I know, take another break. We just took 10 days off, right? Well, hey, that's what happens when you own your own business, right? Oh, and clean off the plastic. I missed the rest of your stuff, didn't I? I just skipped over that. deliver cupcakes order, work on business, send out emails about doing on-sites, for which part of the business are you going to do that for, Darren? And clean off the plasma this 4-day week. Ooh, are you going to use it? Darren, come on. Let's fire that bad boy up. Let's just get some thin sheet metal and let's make some fire rings. Let's do some stuff like that, some decorative things. Let's have some fun with it. We know what I really want. I want to get a plasma table because I seen somebody over while we were gone on the Disney trip, and we were just talking about different Disney things, and they said that they had bought one of the Death Star fire pits. It was, it's the Death Star, and it's all cut out. It's that, what's that shape called? The decahedron, whatever it is, but basically a circle, and that's what it is all the panels of that. And I'm like, man, I need to buy a plasma just to build that because that would look so awesome just to have burning. So yeah, plasma table. Let's put that on my list of things I don't need that I want. Chuck, good morning. How you feeling this morning? 76, sunny, no cup. Man, I'm still off. Like this whole thing, I've tried the yawn. I've tried to hold your nose, and blow like you're blowing it and then swallow. I've tried like when I'm on this side, it literally feels like I'm going to fall over. I was picking up trash before I went out and I fell because it just threw me so off. So sitting and laying is fine. The up and down in the movements this way, I mean, I can totally feel it sloshing in my head. So weird. T-Town, morning to you. 39 looks like it wants to rain. Coffee in the cup. I don't like that looks like it wants to rain stuff. And I don't like rain. And like when it gets below 40, I hate that cold rain. Just give me that snow because I can stand outside in that and it's fine. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't stick to me. It doesn't do the rain thing to me. That cold rain, I am not down with. Renee, good morning from 35 Gray Chicagoan, water and bottle, brewing coffee in the cup. Morning, Tim and Darren. Now, Renee, you had your second Thanksgiving last night. How did that turn out for you? I was hoping really to see that you're going to throw one of those pies in the laser and put something funny on it. I was thinking about that today. I was like, ooh, when we're picking up stuff, one of the things I'm going to take to my mom's house is I'm going to do up a pinwheel pickle dip. But I was like, I should get a pie and just, put something on it, just see if I can laser on it. So we'll see, but whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. What else? Was there anything else with that? No, because you were there. So yeah, how was Thanksgiving for you last night? Seen and heard. I saw that. So that's why I thought I just would continue on with it. T-Town's 5 things. Tint. And guess got to buy a dryer. Ours went out. Embroidery stuff I get to get. Ooh, dryer's always fun. What kind of dryer is everybody running right now? Are they running an electric or gas? Which dryer are you running? I don't know. I'm pretty sure ours is gas. Almost positive it's gas. But we're set up for electric too, so we can run gas or electric. I think it's gas. Corey wants a new washer and dryer set. And that's a gift that you don't give, for a holiday. Like Merry Christmas, here's your new washer and dryer. Yay, more stuff to do chores with. Now there are times when she really wants something. She's like, I want that for Christmas. I want that vacuum. I want that. I want that. Sure. I want things like that. I'm like, we're just getting it. It's not that big of a deal. 30 minutes per pound, breast side down in cold water. Change out water every 30 minutes. Yes, thought out. For mine, I have a cooler that we would put in the tub in the attachment. And so what we would do is crank up the bottom of it, and then it would just fill it up in the little drill so it's constantly flowing out of it. And then I don't have to worry about changing water. But yes, you'll get that turkey done. I'm not doing a turkey this year. I've got everything we knew last week being gone. This week, short week by the time we got back. So I think I'm going to do a turkey maybe next weekend. I got a new injection and new brine I want to try. So I think we're just going to do that for ourselves. And then we're going to start planning our Christmas with our kids. Realizes all the kids are getting older, and maybe it's something, that is with each generation, you start thinking different stuff. Like me, I remember growing up, going to my grandparents' house, and that was Christmas. And then my mom took it over, so it was there. And now my kids go to that. But as our older kids there, then it's like, does it go to me? Do we still go to grandma's house? And for us, there's just a lot to go on. So we actually do the holidays with our kids. I think it's usually the Saturday after Christmas. It allows them, we've got all of them but 2, or all of them but 4 are out of the house. But, we split family. So one's with her mom, we set that up so it's after all of our older ones are on their own. It allows them to, go to the other families for Christmas if they want to that day, if they want to do their own thing on Christmas Day. One of the things with my older two, Christmas was so hectic for us. We would be at my ex-wife's grandparents at 7 in the morning on Christmas morning. So even though we had littles, we were still getting up and going there for that. I know it was 8. So we had Christmas. We basically woke the kids up, said, "Hey, you got to do Christmas real quick," because it was 8 o'clock there. Then it was 10 o'clock at her. How did that work? It was 8 o'clock there. Then we were there till like 10, 11, because then it was brunch at her parents' house. So we went there, and then it was to my dad's house at 2, and then it was back to her grandparents' house for dinner at 5. So we didn't even get back home to enjoy and start our own Christmas with our own kids until 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. And so I dreaded it. And so, on the second go around, you learn things, right? You learn things from the first time to the second. I'm like, we're not going to do this. So we do my parents on Christmas Eve, and then we just do our Christmas, and then we might go to Corey's parents' house later in the afternoon. But then our older kids, we do a second, after Christmas with them. I think last year it fell on New Year's Day, and that's when, hey, I'll do up the what did I do up last year? Did prime rib, did up turkey. We had a good time with it, and so I think that's the tradition we're going to develop there, is allow them to expand and grow their family, because, I don't think when your kids branch out, you're not welcoming people into your family. You're turning the reins over to them. It's time for them to start their own traditions and do their own thing. So to say, hey, you need to come here and do this. Hey, you got your own life. There's enough going on. You got your kids. None of them have kids yet. They will, but you've got your own things to do. So this now starts a fun time for me. For those that don't know, I was never big holidays. By the time my birthday hit, from birthday to New Year's was always seemed to be really stressful for me. Growing up single parent home, there was a lot of struggles. I didn't realize it at the time as a kid until we got older that those struggles were there. My mom did the best that she could, but there was a lot of conflict. There was a lot of fighting, arguing. There was a lot of that. Like, it was weird for me as I got older and moved out, and went to other people's Christmases and family events, but there's no fighting here. There's no yelling, screaming. Things aren't getting broke. Like, it was a foreign concept to me. So I've never really been the holiday person. I've had a lot of bad things happen. Bad events happen during those holiday times. So I'd rather, once my birthday hits, boom, okay, let's just forget the next 6 weeks, and then January's here and we start a new year. So I'm getting better about it, and little by little, we'll get there for that change for it. Barb, good morning, everyone. North Central Minnesota, 28 degrees, water in the cup there. Kyle, good morning to you. Working all day tomorrow, getting ready for a Black Friday sale. Retail sales need to be set up, but the website sales are ready to go. That's right. Go visit Annie Up right there. And if you're in the area, go see him. Because, Kyle, you're not open on Sunday, right? Didn't we decide that when we were, or no, it's at Christmas Eve? How was that? I knew that was before I left there, but go check him out. That was the other thing that we're going to talk about, is what are you working the rest of this week? What are you open? Like, for us, as far as open, business not open. Business will take orders. Business will process orders. Business will do that, but nothing's printing or shipping. Starting. Basically, last night we were filled up for production tank. We might be able to slide a few things in, but we are pretty much stacked to get things out here. Now, anything that's ordered will be shipped out on Monday, but we're doing our best to get out what we can today. Friday, it's Black Friday. Since we no longer have the retail store, we don't have to be tied to it. We can go do what we want, when we want, where we want. So I know we will go over to Menards. We go to Menards every year. We buy like 400 dog beds. It's like ridiculous because the dog beds only seem to last like a month or so, but they're like $8 a piece. So we buy dog beds so that way we have those for a couple months. I need to get some insulation so we can insulate the garage. I might work on that this weekend. It's trying to get all of that set up to be able to rock and roll out there. So, it's not what it was. I think COVID did a good reset for Black Friday, as it used to be. It was our tradition, we're Thanksgiving, we're going through the ads. What are we going to do the next morning? And it wasn't for a long time. I didn't do any of the Black Friday stuff. I worked because I was in the medical field. So we worked on, it was just another day. You didn't have it off. And even younger, it wasn't a big thing for us. When I, about 15 years ago, when we got with Corey and that's when she's like, yeah, this is what we do. So it was fun. You'd go through that, you'd set up for Black Friday, we'd go. Well, then things started opening up earlier, and then it was like here too, and then it was next, they're opening on Thanksgiving at 5 o'clock. So then it was like you're rushing the holiday to go shop or to go stand in lines for things that you really don't need, and it took away from the holiday. I feel that it really, kind of made it all murky now. It didn't matter. And now things are starting, at the beginning of November that run their Black Friday deals. So it lost what it was. There's not the big rush for it. I remember going to the mall and having, when we were at the mall, we would see that. We were there on Thanksgiving night. And we're like, well, why did we do this? Before, when they didn't open on Thanksgiving, it was nice. You'd get up and, just the traffic, the mall, you could feel the feeling in the air. And so maybe it'll get back to that, but it all comes down to what Walmart does. As long as Walmart stays closed on Thanksgiving, everybody else will too. So hopefully they continue that on, and we stick to just Black Friday on it. Barbara's 5 things: quotes, embroider some Christmas stockings, work on Santa bag layouts, cut HTV, and hopefully close early. You're going to close early today, Barb. I know you're going to close early today. Diana, good morning to you. I want a fiber laser to go with my CO2. So there's a couple different options for that. It just depends on what you want it for. I know X-Tools has one. I know Omtech has one. Is it Omtech? Or Ohm? Like Ohm, like OHM, or whatever. I know they both have ones, and I know you can get them in from China as well. It all comes down to the support side of it. Sounds like it's time for ears, nose, throat. Inner ear issues are no joke. Agree with you on the rain versus snow. It's just sickness. It's congestion. This is the first time I've ever had this in my life. So it's just really, really weird. And it started yesterday. I could feel me getting congested up, and I blew my nose. And when I blew my nose, I just felt something drain. And then I'm like, there it is. And it's been clogged since. So other than that, it's not affected me a whole lot. Like, I don't feel like crappy. I don't feel anything there. I can just tell there's some cloggage, and it's a fun time there. Renee sees pumpkin pies laser. Well, I want to see this. And Darren says he loved lasering pies. Darren, show off these pies. I want to see them. Rachel, good morning to you. 39 with a high of 69. I could handle that. Nothing in my cup. Busy today getting the last of my nail clients in before I take off the rest of the week. Corey's going to get her nails done today. So we've got Hudson doctor's appointment this morning. I guess there was because it looks like a lot of people have come home from the boat and they've gotten sick. So, and Hudson has this really croupy cough, which typically isn't anything but since our daughter's a nurse, and we were able to find, she's like, and she's in the pediatric nurse. They said, we asked her, what you're seeing? Oh, we were seeing, what is an RSV? So, he's going to go in, get tested this morning, make sure everything's good to go there. And it's just something normal and everything's fine there. But after that, then she's getting her nails did. Dan's got 30 there here in Dreary, working on wood acrylic. Yeah, because those are the 2-piece ones, right? Those were pretty sweet. Michelle has got Friendsgiving tonight. It is Blackout Wednesday. When I was in the bar scene, that was, this was our busiest night. And we always scheduled it was Wednesday night was our dart night. And since we were one of the bigger bars with the most bar teams, we could kind of set our schedule. So we made sure all of our teams were at home on this night, and we just threw a party, and it was a blast. But I think I'm outgrown that stage. Darren says, we're doing Thanksgiving Friday, I guess, according to my daughters. They just messaged me that they want hamburgers. Love that. That is perfect. And then Diana says, we do our Christmas on New Year's Eve. Then we bring food, and then we bring the New Year's in together. Very nice. And all the kids get several Christmases. We do finger foods only. I love that. That's my... I love the finger food side of things. Like, we'll have one like big thing, but then everything else, snackies all day. That's what New Year's Day is to me, where it's like, here, we're going to do something, but it's watch. Basically, if I can get away with Christmas, where I can just have snacks all day, and I can do the same thing for New Year's, and that week in between, where it's like, yep, we're going to make this, we're going to do this, we're going to have this, and then I can just have finger food for like a week. It's perfect. Watch some football, eat some finger food, eat some snacks, and I love it. We have an electric dryer. I'm gonna have to go look to see what ours is, because I think it's electric. I think maybe not. Um, Honestly, I'd love to get a call. I'd love to get a call back tomorrow. A call back to work. What do you for? Is that what we're talking? Second Thanksgiving was short and sweet. Baking another chocolate pecan pie today for Thanksgiving with my family tomorrow. Lobster night tonight. That is right. You do that. Kelly, good morning to you. Bright and early out there. 6:50 in the morning. What you got going out there in sunny San Diego? Diana says, I got orders for motorcycle derby caps personalized, so the fiber would be great for that. Ooh, very nice. I'd love to see that. T-Town says, I'm just glad I don't work retail at the old shop. I hated having to be at Black Friday 5 a.m. and do a million cars in one day. Oh, I could imagine. Like, one of my first jobs was at a discount retailer by the name of Venture. Maybe some of you may remember it. Maybe some of you don't. But my first Black Friday, it was scheduled to work at 5. And I assumed that it was 5 a.m. because, Black Friday. No, it was 5 p.m. I don't know why. It just said, I think it said 5 to 12. And I assumed it was 5 in the morning to 12 because, duh, I'm, a 16-year-old kid. I just assumed that because we were closed at 9 o'clock. I would be there, not thinking that we were open till midnight that night. Not again, they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, the schedule says 5 to 12. They're like, yeah, tonight. I'm like, oh. Like, yeah, but you can see the lineup. And I remember the vestibule was packed, out the door around the thing was packed. It was nuts. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, come into work. We'll worry about tonight. So it was a fun experience. And being on that side of it, we had a good group of kids, and a handful of them I'm still friends with now here 30 years later. And so, it was a lot of fun back then. Venture made me a lot of fun memories in my life. And it was a good time. And Black Friday was always one of those. We had a blast there with it. T-Sound says, Black Friday is the day where I've tuned the most cars in one before. We took 23 vehicles in one day, like 2021. It was crazy busy. 23. So, okay, now I want to do the math on that. So you can do 20. You did 23 in one day. What time did you start? What time did you finish? Was it the same on all of them? Was it 4 windows in the back, 2 windows in the back? How did that work? Like, to me, like, I don't know why, but in my head, I think, it's going to take, 4 hours to tint out a car window. I'm thinking with the prep, everything with that. So how is this possible? What I need more information on that. Rachel said, I ordered a new Epson EcoTank printer over the weekend because my Samsung laser printer transfer belt was going out. I've been waiting for it to go because it wouldn't print cardstock. So you just die so I can get something else. Die. Is that what you were doing? I mean, what's going on with that? Cindy says, I shut my online store down until Cyber Monday. I got to survive ringing 29 kids in a Charlie Brown Christmas. Their merch looked awesome in the parade. Thank you. That is right. So we, let me see, because I think I got them right here. I got them right here. We will be attending the 11 o'clock show, right? 11 o'clock. Charlie Brown Christmas, 11 o'clock. That's when we were going on Saturday. Saturday is when we'll be there. So that's what we got going on this weekend. We will go there. We will be doing a Morning Mindset live on Friday. We're going to be here. We're going to be working somewhat. So of course, we're going to do that. But we can't wait for that. And that's the great thing about that, Cindy, is you're able to, boom, shut that off, right? I don't want to work today. Turn it off. I don't want to work this weekend. Turn it off. So we can't wait to come see that show. And thank you for allowing us to print the merch for it. Darren, yes, callbacks to work. It's 24 hours of triple time. Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. That's not shabby at all, is it? And Kelly's working on the VIP platform through the holiday. Love it, because you're switching some things up, right? Switching some things up and releasing a new one here pretty quick. And you remember Venture? Yeah, Venture's a blast. So when I started at Venture, they still had the snack bar. You could still smoke in the store. Like you could still literally smoke in the store when you were shopping, and that lasted about a year. And then they made smoking only at the snack bar. Now think about that today. Like, could you imagine going into a store and somebody's just sitting there puffing on a stogie and they're flipping their cigarette butt out, on the ground and stomping it out? That was our life. It was like cleaning that stuff up. Like, I don't know where that was ever acceptable to think, yeah, we can just do this. Like, it just totally boggles my mind to think, that as recent as, 30 years ago now, God, that seemed crazy to say. 30 years. Yeah, okay. Okay, maybe it doesn't seem as recent. It's even worse to say in the late 1900s you could still smoke in stores. It was wild. And then they moved to the snack bar, so we would take breaks, and we're young kids, we'd go up there, and you could still buy cigarettes, you could do all of that, and we all worked together. So guess what, we broke the law every time and sold each other cigarettes, and we would sit up there and smoke at the snack bar and drink our ices and have a great time with it. And then they got rid of that when they switched from their maroon phase to their turquoise phase. That's when we knew the end was coming for Venture, because we knew that they were trying to be something they weren't, and soon enough it was gone. But while it was there, we had a blast with it. And he says, I love Venture. I did plenty of holidays in retail, so I'm one of now I'm one of those people that go out at 3 a.m. on Black Friday, but I go with a great attitude of lots of patience. But yeah, you have to. Like, we had the first couple of years I did it, it was a riot. It was like, okay, we're going to meet here, we're going to do this, we're going to go here and get that. And then it was like the planning, the scheduling, people go here. And it was, so much fun. Where really, I don't feel we have, a lot of the country doesn't get it, is they don't have to deal with the crappy weather, right? It's just like 40s for them, or 50s. They don't, understand it being 20 degrees and being the coldness, being everything with that. So, it is crazy, crazy, crazy. So the sooner, the sooner they experience what weather is on Black Friday, the better appreciation that they'll have of it. That's what I'm thinking. Ooh, my ear just popped a little, so I can hear a little bit more. That's what I needed to do. Rich says, pretty much it was an amazing Black Friday deal. I don't remember how many years ago, and thankfully Costco has the Eco Tank on sale. Somebody else had something, and that's what I've got to look. Now we'll start my get my money's worth out of Amazon Prime, because I order stuff every day, so it shows up. I especially love Amazon stuff showing up on Sunday. So even if it's something little, I will be ordering every day from Amazon to get things here. I'll be doing curbside pickup. I will try to stay out of stores as much as possible, but I'll do a lot of online shopping and ordering in that. I need to get Christmas lists for my kids because they're just getting cash anyway. Yeah, we're crossing our fingers that Darren gets a call. T-Town said, I would probably say half were full cars, 2 guys, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. When you got a plotter and 2 guys that know to work together, they just fell in place. Oh, I bet. Oh, yeah, because I didn't think about that. I'm thinking, like, okay, there's a tent and you're cutting it for each one. With the plotter, you can just type in the type of car, window set, load the film, and it'll cut it for you, right? So pre-cut, so then you're just doing there and trim cutting it. I forget about that. I don't know why, but I forget about that. But okay, 2 guys going into place. I can see that for it. But things went out the door that would replace. But things went out the door that we would replace. That's one bad thing about tenant like that. I bet, because you're just trying to turn and burn and get it out. I can see that. Going to Venture 1 hour one way was a monthly trip growing up. Yeah, because it was based down there in O'Fallon, Missouri, I believe, is where it was based out of. In fact, when I was still working at Venture, and I don't even remember how old I was at the time, 19, 20, 21, somewhere around there. I went down to, where is Southeast Missouri State at? Right across. I cannot think of where it is. In my head, I can picture it. Southern Missouri. It's right across the border from, Southern Illinois. God, I cannot think of that. Anyway, you could, passengers of the car could drink. We went down there. We had a friend that went down there, moved down there. And they had the strip with the drive-in liquor stores at both ends. So we would take turns driving while the passengers could drink and cruise in the strip. It was a ball that we were down there for it. Cape Girardeau is where it was. And then there was a venture that was close by. So I actually stayed longer than what I had. So, I was using my vacation time, and I got on because, Adventure, you could call other stores. You had the extensions to do that. So like us here, we had the Moline store and Davenport store. So we could communicate back and forth through that. So I remember going into that store and going into the fitting rooms because that's where the phone lines were. It's like, hey, I need to use the phone to call. I don't remember what store number we were to see if I could get a little extension of what my schedule is. And they're like, huh? So I picked up the phone, called it there, and they're like, what the hell is going on? I think I ended up sticking around like another 4 days down there, but it was a riot of a time. It was a good time down there. I do miss going through the paper ads on Thanksgiving while watching the parade. Yeah, that was the thing. Like, remember that newspaper was like that thick. Like, and it was ad after ad after ad, and it was sitting there with the list. And don't you mark on that. You mark what catalog, what ad it was, and you mark what page number it was on, and you create your list, and that's what you'd hand out and give. And you would start, whoever was at the front, you're like, come on, get through the ads. And so it was like, that's where you usually, like for me, I would start with it because there was a lot of stuff I didn't want to sift through. So I could get those ads moving to the next pile. But yeah, it was, I remember there sitting around, my grandma doing that, going through it. I remember sitting around, ours would be after Thanksgiving, grandma would be picking the turkey, so that way picking all the meat from the turkey to set up for to go containers and bag it all up. And we were going through ads and making our list. And yeah, that was part of it. And then, Walmart got greedy and ruined everybody's Thanksgiving. And then online sales really took over, and that experience is no more. Our kids will never know. They'll even for us, when did it start showing up? October? Is that when, our internet growing up was the Sears catalog, the Montgomery Ward's catalog, and the Penny's catalog. Like, that was it. I got pretty lucky because it was like, ooh, I could kind of double up on presents. Here's what I wanted for my birthday. And if there's something that went along with it, I could ask for my birthday, and then maybe I'd get the accessory at Christmas time. So it was kind of nice. Now, we have a daughter whose birthday is the 22nd of December. So she kind of gets the shaft on it. So we make sure that there's stuff wrapped in, in birthday paper. And then, it's separate from it. And then, kind of hand in hand on certain things. It just depends on what she wants. There it says the biggest Black Friday deal. Black Friday deal my ex got was standing outside an hour to get a TomTom. Yeah, now it's right here on your phone. Think about that. Think about some of the things that we stood in line for hours that didn't matter. Like, I remember when flat screens came out, and they were a couple $1,000, and Best Buy would have like 3 of them at $1,000, and people that the gaming systems, gaming systems are still huge for that. But to see all of that, and now it's like, oh, you can just they're pretty much disposable now. Like the 32-inch TV that I'm using as a monitor now, that's right here in front of me. At one time this is like $1,000 thing, and now I can probably pick it up for $100. Like, it's crazy how all that works. And Black Friday is crazy around here. Is it still crazy? Like, I guess I haven't been out. I know Menards still gets hammered, but Menards is a tough one because there's still contractors that are open, and contractors hate it because they're like, I just need to get in and get my stuff and get out of here. But it's Black Friday, and people are in Menards, and like I said, dog beds. We'll go there for it. Yeah, that's what it is. Southeast Missouri State is Cape Girardeau. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Oh, I toured the IT department at Venture in O'Fallon before they sold the building in '96. Yeah, because they would have closed. They would have closed that right there, right? That's when they sold to Shopco. But it would have been about '96, wasn't it? I'm trying to think because I graduated. I was still working there. I'm trying to remember how that played out because I was working there '96. Then I turned 18 in because I turned 18 in '95. '96, I started working at UPS and still Venture. And so it was like a cross thing that I was still doing from there. So it was right there. Oh, I miss Sears and Kmart. Yeah, Kmart with your blue light special and the popcorn and the ices. I'm down with that. We had our Kmart here. The one thing that was keeping afloat was it still had the Little Caesars, and it had the less Little Caesars for the longest time, and so it was there. And Kmart was one of the few that were. Was it was it Thanksgiving Day? They were one of the few that were open on Thanksgiving Day and to start with, or was it Christmas Day? Thanksgiving Day, because I think that's when my mom would go get like games for the kids. I remember, I'm almost positive I remember that. But yeah, going there, and Sears was a blast. I all those big anchor stores. My kids are December 15th and 16th, so you know the pain. You know the pain of that. I compare the S&S catalog to the old Sears catalog and get blank stare Sundays. Yes. Like, I mean, and as a young, impressionable teen, there may have been some things that you would look at in those catalogs. I'm just saying, you're a young kid. This was pre-internet time, pre any of that, pre find your dad's magazines. Just saying, there was some racy stuff in those catalogs. Yeah, they don't get it. I was in college and out of the Navy in 96. 96, I said I just graduated high school in 95. 96, I hadn't decided yet. I want to say 96, I was going to tech school for computer and drafting. And then I realized that a desk thing is not for me. And look here, actually, no, 96. I had just, right about that time, I just wrecked my car that winter. Remember, because I was going to school for horticulture, for landscape architectural design. And I was coming home from school and hit the black ice on the big X and rolled my car down an embankment. I remember that very well. And then it was like that following year, that happened in the fall. And then I took that semester off, and then I started back up in like January at tech school. So yeah, I remember that. I don't do Black Friday. I don't leave the house for a week. I try not to leave the house for a week, any given week, if I can get away with it. Renee says Kmart had one of the best advertisements with the "I shipped my pants." Yes, they did. It still makes me laugh. Right? What other one did I just see come back? The Snickers one, the Great Googly Moogly. I just seen that one come back with Andy Reid doing that. But yeah, it was a different time back then. Like, even as recently as 10 years ago, with just advertising how things work. They wanted you to get in the stores for the specials, but then to also buy other stuff. And now people are like, can I just get it online? And on a business side of things, I mean, it's got to be more money for them, right? Because now, instead of them putting an item on the shelf, having customers come in, touch that item, move that item, decide to buy that item, take that item up to a register, have an employee ring that up, bag it up, and then get them out the door. I mean, okay, we're going self-checkout. Now people are backlashing against that. Just straight online. They just leave the stuff in back or at the distribution center and then ship it to you. So they're making more money off this stuff by us doing it online. It doesn't cost them as much to have in stores. They're not transferring it to them. They're not pulling stuff. They're not doing it there. So, I think they're making more off of it. What are your thoughts on that? Our daughter goes to SEMO, so I was yelling at you here. See, I figured it out. I just had to go through my process of where I was, because it was crazy for me because, we're both in river towns. The Cape Girardeau is a river town. We're a river town, and they had the floodgates, down there along the river in Cape Girardeau. And I'm like, what the hell are these? What do you mean you just don't let things flood? Because in our area, they just let things flood and it ruins the downtown. And the Illinois side, not so much. They build up levees. They made it so it didn't happen. Moline will still get flooded out, but not nearly as bad as what Davenport will, where it'll take out blocks of things. And so, I'm like, what do you mean? You just don't let things flood? It was the weirdest thing for me when I saw those. And T-Town's maybe a Little Caesars wanted to sell goats. Yeah. Did you ever figure out the full story on that? They wanted to sell goats to the health department, or the city told them no, so they went back to selling pizzas. What the hell the story was that with that? My aunt worked at Walmart and said Black Friday was expensive. I bet it was 100%. So, fun fact for our area is where our Moline Walmart was. It was maybe a quarter mile, half mile from where Venture was. And where that was, the land that was all there, the manager of Venture actually owned it. So it was swampland. It wasn't anything much. It was kind of off the interstate, and now it's kind of a main thoroughfare because, most times when Walmart comes, there's other stuff that's built around it, and that for sure happened here. But he owned that. And once we found that out, we're like, Okay, so if you're selling your land to Walmart, he got a nice chunk of change for it. He's ready to be done. We kind of see the writing on the wall. And then I'd probably say a good quarter of the staff left there and went to Walmart for it. And there's still people that are there, that were, it was them and then Farm and Fleet, which depending on the area of the country, you either have Farm and Fleet or Fleet and Farm, right? Same store concept. That's a trippy thing in itself. But um, Farm and Fleet, those were the two things that were built, and they were somewhat close to each other. But when he sold that, we're like, wait a minute, he sold the land of them for them to build it. So what's going on here? But fun little fact there for it. I have not looked more into you're in there. You're in that area. You should, this Tim. These are these are questions we need answered from you. But yeah, it was it was a good time. I overall, these conversations are great. Hopefully, we bring some fun to it. What I'm going to look for from you guys on Friday is what deals that you found, because by the time this time rolls around, if you are one of those early bird shoppers, you're out shopping, right? You found some deals, you look through some ads, you found some things, because I don't know what we're looking for. I'm looking for a camera. I want to use a camera for a set camera for recording. Yes, I have phones that I can make work and do, and that probably will be the way I will go. But if I want to set up a studio, I want to have, I don't need like a super, two, three, four, $5,000 camera. I'm looking for like an under $300 camera to be able to use to set up for that. I got my eye on a few that I think I'm going to pull the trigger on, a few different setups for it. Other things, I always look for office supplies. There's always deals on paper. There's always deals on not that we need any pens, but there's always deals on that. What I'm looking for is things that we can maybe, laser. And so to get some content creation from that. So I'm going to order up some things for there. I did have somebody reach out to me yesterday and be like, hey, are you able to run a laser project for me? I'm like, listen, I don't know. Like legit, I'm not even anywhere where it needs to be. Yeah, I can price this out and do anything for you. What do you need? And they told me, I'm like, okay, listen, you just buy the materials and let me create the content, and I'm gonna have a ball doing that. And that's what I want to do. Like, hey, if we want to test how stuff works, Ramona sent me some twill, so I'm gonna try and get that cut and see how that cuts this weekend if it works on it. And that's the main thing that I'm gonna use it for, is just kind of creating those videos, those contents with it. And so I need to find cameras that kind of work in that setting for it, as we are going to go into 2024, push more of those things for it. I think next week, let me look at the calendar and see. Oh, I have to get a new mouse. My mouse, my mouse finally officially died. I've had this mouse for 4 years. 2000, got it in 2019, 2020, blinged it up. It's lasted a good time. I tried doing batteries with it. It started acting up while we were on our trip, and it finally is good to go. So I need to get a new mouse. Sad to see that one go. Um, I'm not sold on wireless mice. I'm not sold on those because if I'm dead, I can just throw in a battery and be good to go. If the wireless one dies, I need to make sure that I have the cord handy to be able to charge it. So I go back and forth on that. But things like that, tape, packing supplies, other, there. We've always found good office chairs. Like Office Max has always had on that for great sales on that for Black Friday, so like that. And I think I'm going to try. I need to find a new computer. I think mine is. I can certainly take it up to Computer Guy and have him add some more stuff to it, but I think I'm just going to see what's out there for a decent gaming laptop or a decent gaming desktop, so I can just create a design station just for that content creation, everything there. Turn this into a terminal. It's lasted good. It is what it is, but I think it's time where it's ran its life, and it's time to get on with something else for it. Let's see. Um, I'll get my wife on it. She's the Facebook detective. Yeah, get her on it, because I think there's some content there. I think there is some good stuff. They have the new 360. What is it? That's the little white one, right? That one I saw, and it's like what, 500. I saw, like I said, my viewing stuff is all across the board. And I came across a Stradman video where he showed his car collection, but then showed that 360 camera and how it had the two pieces and came off. I'm like, man, that would fit inside of a laser really well. So that was my other thing, is I wanted to see if I could find something small to drop in the laser to be able to record while it was in there. So now I'm looking at like GoPro type ones. I've looked at a few different types because I don't need to do anything fancy. I just needed to be able to work in these settings for it. But that one legit was sweet. And then it had the accessory pole. So not that I'm ever going to put it on a car or go mountain biking or do any of that, but to see that full view and in the video be able to pan the way you want, it was some legit stuff for it. I'm guessing this is Janessa. Janessa sent in an order last night. Thanks for that, Janessa. I'll go through it. I've got a couple ideas. You didn't tell me when you wanted your stuff, so I'm going to reach out to your email to find out when you wanted transfers and things like that, because I got a couple ideas I want to roll with that. George, good morning to you. George, you guys going to be open Friday? And George, sorry to hear about your cousin. Anytime you have a loss, it's a tough pill to swallow, and something like that is really tough one. So thinking of you, buddy. T-Town, yeah, I never got my twill to cut on M1. Yeah, we've got that, so I'm going to try that. Like I said, it's all content creation, and this is where having those multiple cameras are going to help. How can I show how it can do this? What can it do? And we'll see. Fire is probably going to start. My gut says that we're going to set some stuff on fire, and we're going to see how it is for it. I wish there was a good program for pricing laser jobs. Now, remember, I know a little bit more about lasers than embroidery, so I'll toot my horn there. But a lot of what I have seen on the laser side of it comes down to a per minute pricing model. How long does something take? So like in our business, our time is worth, $2 a minute, right? So if something were to take $5 to do, or $5 to do, 5 minutes to do, that's 5 times 2 is $10. So when we're looking at pricing models, that's something that we are going to look at. Does that formula still apply to this? It's going to be a process for sure. And I think a lot of it is really going to depend on what projects you're doing. I got an idea for a sign that I want to do. And I might just start small, because I think right now, I think all of this is going to get swapped out and changed out for something different. And so I think I'm going to move some things and change up how it is. But there's a sign that I want to do that I saw was super cool and super nerdy, and I have the ability to do it, so why not? And we'll go with it. But just like with laser, there's so many different ways that you can go with it. I'm watching one person, and for outdoor signs, they're doing everything in MDF, and they're painting with outdoor paints, and they have sold thousands of signs. They are in the Northwest. They haven't had any issues with moisture and that. And I have other people that say, don't you dare sell an outdoor sign that's made from MDF, because it's going to disintegrate, fall apart, do this or that. So it's like, well, who do you believe? Like there's so many different sides of it, because the last thing you want to do is sell a crap product. But I want to make some content. I want to have some fun with us. There's a lot of good things out there. I know Creative Fabrica is going to be running some deals here for Black Friday. I'll post those. Man, there's a ton of files over there. A ton. So if you have not signed up for that account, get my affiliate link, go there, sign up for it, get the monthly or the yearly plan, and then you get those files for free because you're paying the monthly, and there is a boatload there. So make sure that you check that out. I just picked up a good mouse from Best Buy. You don't even hear it click, so it's sweet. I don't know about that. Like sometimes I want to hear it click, like being able to, I like the click makes me feel like I'm productive, right? Like it's actually doing it. It's part of it. It's almost like, how hard, this generation has no clue about the satisfaction of slamming down a phone on somebody. They don't get it. They don't understand they don't. Like, I don't, I guess how do I know? And me, I'm a weird one anyway. And I think a couple people called me out for it when we were down at the TRW open house, because I grabbed the mouse and used it with my left hand. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm left-handed. I've never been able to comfortably use a mouse right-handed. I've always done it left-handed. So maybe I'm weird for that, but it just is the way it is. Gaming chairs are the best office chairs, especially if you work at your desk. 1000% agree on that. Finding a proper chair is the best. Because if you're not, that's where that's your office. You're in there. If you're sitting in an uncomfortable chair, you're going to be uncomfortable. So spend the money on a good chair. No, it's an action camera that has a flip up screen, like a flip up screen, like you send. I'll send you a link. It just came out. Awesome. I just seen the link. You did send that to me. I'll send you a link to the one that I seen, and it was pretty lit. Because it was an Insta too. I think the other one was an Insta, but it's a white one. I'll send you the link of the one that I found. Do you get UPS reward points? They have GoPros on there. I don't think so, and it's because we're using third party. So since we're not using your UPS account, but I don't know if I want a UPS account because hey, as Brian has pointed out, I can get a $12,000 charge from UPS. So no, I have not even looked at that. Switch to YouTube. There you are. Yay, we see you. They make signs here from polypropylene. Okay, so polypropylene, that's another one, right? Where, can it be cut? Is that the one where it goes both sides on, where some people are like, you're going to die from it, and other people are like, it's fine? Which one is there? Post a link for Creative Fabrica. I will. Let me pull over here because I usually try and keep all the links there. And I know I have it in here. Creative Fabrica, right? Creative Fabrica. Now the problem is I'm making sure not to grab the wrong mouse because that's always a blast. Creative Fabrica, because I have a mouse links. I have last night when we were having issues with this computer, I was just going to set up our other one because I don't know how your house works, but in my house Corey's got her computer, I've got my computer. The DTF printer has its own terminal, the Roland has its own terminal, and the laser has its own terminal. So I was just going to bring over another one, set it up here, and go. Because that's one great thing about StreamYard is that all I need to do is have the web connection. Everything else would be able to be done for me. So it was nice to be able to do that. But I have that mouse over here, so I want to make sure I don't grab that one. I have my mouse that decided to die on me, and then the new mouse on it. So good times all the way around there. All right, let's see. There, I just posted the link in YouTube for Creative Fabrica. I believe that should take you straight over to our landing page. I'm gonna double check and see the promo that's on there. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna actually pull that up and show you what you get on that one. So if I present and I share the screen and I go ahead and create a Fabrica and I share that one and bring it on here, then you guys should be able to see that. So if you follow that link, add to the stage there, and we're going to take this link off here and we're going to make that, nope, we're not going to do that because that took it all craziness. I don't want it to take it all crazy there. I want to take it here all the way. Yeah. So you go to Creative Fabrica, unlimited access to over 5 billion fonts for just $1. So look at that in partnership with me. Yay. Gives you for access to all this for only $1. So you can try it all for $1. Head over here. 10 reasons why you should join, whatever. You got all the designs there. I'm a font hoe, like legit font hoe. They have a ton of fonts over there. They've got us. The other thing is this commercial use license for it. Almost all of their files have a commercial license with them, so you're able to use it without worry. Now, there are some questionable things in there that people try and slide in, so always use your best judgment with it. But you do have that available for it too. They have a lot of their searches are really good. They have a lot of different sides on it. They also have their own program, CF Sparks tool, so you can create things in it. They got the AI built into it there. They also have classes in that too, so there's a lot of classes in there for it too. So if you're looking for something to do, like I said, you can join for $1, right? I'm going to make sure that I post this a lot over this weekend, so that way we get people in there for it, and we can go from there. Then we've got that. Dave, thanks for jumping in there. It's kicking chicken. We can put together the webinar off a little bit. It's been crazier than my next one here too. Awesome, because that was going to be the next thing. Is next Wednesday we were going to have a webinar with Corel Trainer and David Haynes here. But David, you tell me what day works for you, and we will get that. We'll get that date set in stone. we'll get it set in stone, and we'll get the promo material out for that. So look for that upcoming. It will happen before the end of the year. I'm putting David on the spot and tell him it will happen before the end of the year. It will happen before Christmas, because we know that week between Christmas and New Year's is a little there. So it will happen here in the next 4 weeks for it. Font Ho would be a good t-shirt. I am a Font Ho. Like, there's so many cool ones that you can see, and especially when it comes to different designs, different things, where some look good and then you do it and it looks bad because the lines are too thin. So you want one just a little thicker. So which ones do you like for this? The big one, it's like, what was it? Christmas Mystery? Was that a couple years ago? Or it wasn't that one. Oh, what was it? It was like Magnolia Sky. Remember Magnolia Sky came out, and it seemed like that was everywhere. And then there were so many different variations of it. It was Magnolia Sky, to me, was the previous generation's what was it? Outlaw? Oh, what was it? Bleeding Cowboy. You remember that? Yeah, Bleeding Cowboy. So Comic Sans, Bleeding Cowboy, Magnolia Sky. I don't know what the next one's gonna be, but man. Yeah, I'm a font ho. I love going through it and there, seeing what we got here. T-Town says, I like fonts, but when you switch computers, it is daunting. Ugh. Yeah, so that's a great point because I've done that where I've got Corey's thing. So that's a great thing to ask, is how, and Renee just did. How does everybody keep their fonts organized? I have them on my fonts folder. Probably not the best place to do it, but that's where I did it. I wonder, I could put my fonts library on my Dropbox and then have access to it from there. I don't know. That's a great question. I'm going to ask that in the group and see what we can get from there. But yeah. Okay. Man, we went long today. You guys stuck around almost an hour of us chit-chatting, and I've got a lot to do. So I guarantee Friday's going to be a long one. Friday might be even a day where I go through it. I'm cleaning up some stuff. We might even do some giveaways. I'm not going to say that out loud on purpose yet, but, I know a couple channels, and this is my goal. I'm giving you my goal for next year right now. I want to, this time next year, when it comes to our Black Friday show, because we do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I want our Black Friday show to be a giveaway show. I want us to create projects throughout the year. And this year we didn't do a whole lot of that. We're getting back on that horse. Next year we'll do, we do sublimation projects. We do HTV projects. We do DTF projects. We do laser projects. We're going to do projects. There's going to be projects that are going to go in a project bin, and that's what we're going to do. Is come the end of the year, we're going to give some stuff away. So I think that's the way to do it. We'll do it on a Black Friday. We'll just have a show where maybe we got to have a fun drinking game that goes along with this. I think that's the only way to do it. And I mean, I don't mind doing shots of stuff at 8 in the morning. If you're good with it, I'm good with it, but you got to play along, right? I might have to bring some of you on camera too. I think we could have a great day with our fellow creators, our fellow decorators, fellow people here, where we could have fun and just kind of talk about the year. And now Black Friday will officially start, and we're pumped for that. So I think that's a goal. How does that sound? How does that sound to everybody right there? But you still have to install every single one. There is no install off that, I don't think. Oh, yeah. Yeah, how does that work? I guess I didn't think about that. Brian says, I have a font folder in my external drive that I add to every new PC. It takes a bit, but I have a program that adds all of them for me. Brian, what's the program? What is the program, Brian? Don't be a gatekeeper. That term drives me insane. Like, literally anytime I hear somebody saying that. Like we've got adventuring in the laser world, as I'm seeing a lot more of people expecting things, right? Because like on the HTV side of things, it's pretty cut and dry. On digital printing side of it, what works for me isn't going to work for you because conditions. I could create a profile here and I can send it to Chuck down in Florida. His conditions are completely different, so that profile, it's going to be close, but it's not going to be the same. When it comes to cutting vinyl, there's no clear cut, this is how you do it, because hey, how much is your blade sticking out, what's the depth of it, how old's your blade, how's the cutting strip. There's a lot of variables, so we can get you in the idea, in the ballpark, and then it's up to you to figure it out. In the laser world, it's just as crazy because every piece of material has different settings. Let's see, just everybody said run a test to see where it needs to be at for it. That makes perfect sense to me. But I see people that are creating fascinating pieces of art, and people are asking right away, how'd you do it? What settings, what material, what this? Like, they just want the answers given to them. And it's like, you got to put in some work, right? You just can't expect somebody that has spent 6 weeks developing a process to give that to you. And then you can't get upset when they're like, hey, I can walk you through this step by step. I created, a PDF for it. It's $30 for the PDF. And well, now you're just trying to make money off this. Well, yeah, I learned something. I got a grade at the process for it. I created a way to help you out for it. It's $30. Do you want it or not? So anybody that can do that, I 1000% support you. If you are able to take something that you know how to do and do it well, and you're able to sell it and make money off the education side of it, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Because if it works, then it works. Somebody can make money off that. And to see so many people get pissed because they're not being told it, and I see people say, well, here's the general settings that we use, but it's going to vary for you. What's your material? What's your setup? How are your things for it? It boggles my mind for it. Let's see. PTFB, push the freaking button. It pushes the button so you can walk away. Ooh. I like that. I like that. Oh, we're gonna have to. Oh, everybody, screen cap that right there. Go ahead, screen cap that so that way you have it to go look after. I keep mine on OneDrive so I can access to all my computers. My question more is, how do you organize what you have alphabetically? Like, are you talking? Do you have it by themes? Help me understand what you're trying to ask. So my congested brain can understand it, because mine are alphabetically. Is there another way? Like, I legit feel stupid right now asking that. Is there another way? Is there a better way to be doing this? That's my whole life. Everyone thinks that it's set it and forget it when it comes to cutting vinyl. Oh, I can only imagine, being a supplier and you sell different equipment. Those settings on that Cameo are not the same as the Romeo or the Juliet or the Graphtec or the Chinese cutter, or they're just not. It's, here's a general idea to get you started in it. Like for me, when we were at the open house, we were going through it, and somebody said, well, all my brick, I cut all my flock and my brick on my Graphtec, I have to cut with 2 passes. I'm like, why? I'm like, I've never cut it with 2 passes. And so we did a sample of brick, and we did it, we did flock to show, like, here's what it is. Here's things to look at, play with your settings for it. That you can make things work that you don't think should work, but they will. And you can give a general idea for it. It's no different than, the proper settings for, doing heat transfer vinyl. Here's time, temp, pressure. Well, your firm pressure may be Goliath's light pressure. So, it's subjective. What do you feel is that? That's where something like a Stahls that has a number system at least gets you right there, which the numbers aren't PSI. The numbers are just numbers. That's all they are. They're not PSI. 7 does not equal 70 PSI. We learned that at the trade show a few years ago. But, it at least gives you an idea for it there. Same thing with temperature. Do you have a good press, or did you pick up, an Amazon special? The way they're designed is the way that heat works. So some might have heat distributed a little less than others. So it's going to change the settings on it. There's so many things with that. And if somebody's not willing to take the time to figure it out themselves, then sorry about your luck. You need to understand how your equipment works and moves on from there. Yeah. What's your time worth? Makes me crazy. Absolutely. Like, I don't mind. Like, everybody knows I will give you as much information as I can if it helps you. With no questions asked. What I really get pissed with is when somebody will say, hey, what do you think of this, or this, or how does this artwork work, or how can I make this better? I'm doing this for DTF, and then they order their stuff from someone else. And so the next time I'm like, well, what happened to that last order we worked on? Well, yeah, it turned out great. I'm like, oh, well, we didn't print it for you. Well, that's because you cost more than my other guy. I said, well, does your other guy help you? Well, no. I was like, then why should I? And they're like, well, that's kind of a dick move. I'm like, well, coming to me for free work, free advice, and then having somebody else print it for you is kind of a dick move. And so if I have to be the dick for it, I will. Like, the way that we're changing our business and the way that we're going is where I want to be able to help as many people as possible. And I want to help those people that help us. Like those are going to be my priority customers. If you're a VIP member, you're a priority customer. You are getting, anything I can do to help you out and better your business, dude, I'm there for you. You investing in me, I'm investing in you. You're a normal customer that's spending money each month. Yep, I'm there for you. What can we do together? Yeah, I get to your order after we get to take care of these VIP guys. Cool. You're a guy that just orders randomly. I'm going to take care of you well, as well as I can. Yep, you send stuff in. Here's my issues. Here's what we got for. You're somebody that never orders but always asks information. It might be a little while before I get back to you on some stuff. I mean, I don't feel like I'm wrong saying that. If you do, then I'm not your cup of tea, and I'm cool with that. Diana says that it changes with the same substrates too, like different leathers or different. Well, even there, as we were going through wood, the same wood can be different too because of how it may have the glue that may have been used that day, how it was put together, the grain that's in it. A lot of that can change. So you need to start paying attention to just how it was made, what things to look for, how it's going to set up, and I don't think in today's Amazon society where they expect everything to be ready for them, they're not wanting to take for it. I guess I fall down a rabbit hole when I'm trying to find a font. They all start looking alike. We know my brain is wired differently than yours. Okay, so for me, what I did, and if you have the Design Wizard, there is the pop-out window for your fonts. Put your most used fonts in there. So, I have the ones that we use for most things. Here's what I have for a script. Here's what I have for an athletic. Here's what I have for this. Here's what I have for that. So those are my go-to for it. Like these are the go-to fonts. Create yourself, just even something as simple as this, create yourself a list of, say, 6 fonts that you're going to use. These are my 6 fonts that I'm going to use. And I'm going to try and state of these the best of my ability. And then that's what you have. So those are your top 6. And then you can venture off from, but when you're giving somebody options, those are the ones that you're going to use. You're going to have, like the easy curve, the handwriting one for it. You're going to have a block one. You're going to have a varsity one. You're going to have like that messy one for it. You're going to kind of have a fun one. So, you create the ones that you want to do. And it's just like an embroidery when they give options for names. Like, okay, here's the fonts. So here's 6 fonts. These are the names that we can put it in. We got to think that way with it too. I have those ones that we have. Those are my go-to for it. But there's still other times where I'll go search a font because it's not exactly what I'm looking for. And if I continue to use it a lot, then we'll use it for that. But we start using a lot of the same fonts over and over and over. They said, I use WordMark. Yes, WordMark too. Wordmark.it. I love that. So it shows you all your fonts on your computer and what samples are WordMark. Love that. If nobody has used that before, wordmark.it. Is that what it is? Is that wordmark.it? I think is what it is. Let me wordmark.it. Is that right? Yeah. Has everybody used WordMark IT before? Give me a yes, I have used it, or a no, I haven't. If we have more no's than yes, I'll bring it on the screen and show you how it works. But wordmark.it is phenomenal. I tried in the link here, but YouTube won't let it, so I emailed you the zip file. Sweet. We'll get that, Adam. We'll post it up in the group and we'll do it there. Other things, like one of the things that I know, God, I'm just going to keep rambling today, aren't I? I know starting probably tonight through Monday, through Cyber Monday, you're going to see a lot of training that's out there for sale. If there's anything where it's a lifetime thing for like, I'd say $100 under, if there's any information that you can get out of it, buy it. I've already signed up for one for AI where they're going to have, I think it was like $30 through Billie Jean, 30 or 50 bucks. It was less than $50, but monthly calls on AI and how it works. I'm signing up for that one. I'm signing up for who else had one? Queen of Evergreen. She has one that's going out there. And I think that one was just like a $40 one-time fee. I think Molly Mahoney has one where it's like an under $50 fee. So any of this stuff that you think you might use, check all that stuff out. Look and see if anybody has it. You may not use any of it, but $40 for some information that could possibly help grow your business, I think is going to be extending. Didn't even realize I could add faves to the wizard. What's the difference between WordMark and the pro version? I don't know. Is there a pro version? I haven't looked for a while. Brian says, I have 14,000 fonts. I tried to do what you said, but I hate all the designs start looking the same. That's where it comes into is I almost think of it's like this. Like maybe we need to start looking at our business especially our fonts as in seasons, right? So we're going to have our core set. We're just like Starbucks. We have our core menu. Here's our 4 fonts, 5, 6 fonts that we're going to use. And then in the springtime, we add these 3 fonts to it. And then if any of these 3 and sell good, then maybe that one comes back. In the summer, we're going to swap those out for these ones and do that. Rotate some fonts in and out of there. Find out what you have for it. Yeah, on the wizard. I wonder if I can do it. Yeah, if you on your bump outs, if you go to on your wizard over, on the little arrow for the bump outs for the font part, you can have your favorite fonts and put it all in there. So it gives you the preview, the font. You can add all of that in there, Renee, and then it's pretty simple and easy to see. And you guys wait until you can see what Wiz 6 can do. Holy smackaroons. If you do anything with names, jerseys, decals, personalization, dude, the Wiz 6 is going to rock your effing world. I cannot wait for that to drop out. Yep, found it. Yeah, and see, there you go. Perfect. You're going to be able to. Okay, so I got 2 no's for Word Market. So I'm going to show Word Market here. So I'm going to stop that screen share. I'm going to present, and we're going to go this share. Maybe I should really just schedule a day to go live. And you guys can just hang out with me. I'm not going to work. Maybe I'll work. We'll talk about different things, and we'll go there for it and get it for it. So it'll be sweet. All right, let's see. Wordmark, there it is. Wiz 6 will be this year. That's what I told. So Wordmark, here it is. Wordmark.it. I'm going to post that here in the comments. Wordmark.it. So everybody can go there and check it out because you're going to love this. If you've never used it before, we're going to go to Wordmark RT and we're going to put in, it helps choose fonts for your creative projects. I don't know what the difference is on all this in the pro account. So let me check all this first too. So pricing, let's see what we got here. Upgrade to Wordmark Pro for $1.99 a month or $23 for the year, 15 days upgrade. Organized fonts, so you can tag categories, export as an image, print font grids, select see, like this, $2 a month. I really don't see a reason to not do it. I mean, it's pretty cheap. But here's what you got here. So we're gonna go in here and we're gonna go Fat Dad Print Co. Right? That's what we're going to go. We're going to put that in here and we're going to hit the button. Now, as we hit the button, this is what it's going to do. It's going to pull up all the fonts that are in this system, and it's going to give me a preview of what that looks like. So as I scroll down here, I can now see what this looks like in each and every single one of these fonts. And as you get down there, you just show more and you just keep going on, and it just shows and shows and shows and keeps pushing everything through for you. So it is an amazing thing for it. And then that's it. That's what you got to do. And I think it's a pretty legit thing. It helps me out, and we'll be able to keep we're able to find things right here. Let's see what I was going to say. Through here, yep, because it keeps going, maybe. And sometimes you have to do this where it'll get hung up and it'll stop. Come on. And maybe there. Oh, am I already at the bottom? There's no way I'm at the bottom. 181. What? Select all. Wait, it only showed 181 to my default. Something's not right. Something's not showing correctly because it is only showing 100 there. And I know I've got more than 181 default system fonts in it. I wonder if they switch that up because I know I got way more than that. I know I do. So I'm like, wait a minute, some of my other stuff still isn't there. So what's going on with it? Your fonts, system fonts, your fonts, selected fonts. Now I want to see. I want to play with this. Your fonts. This is where it gets better. Allow Chrome to show your fonts. Did you download and install any fonts on your computer? With your permission, Chrome can show them all here as well. All right. So they switched some stuff up when they added this to it because I'm like, wait, it's been a minute since I used it. So Yeah. So we got to let that do its thing. But yeah, that's totally throwing me off. I'm like, why? Why is that letting me go for it and see it? That's crazy. There we go. There you go. So we have to do that. Um, there we go. That's why I have it's the Pro. It loads so many at a time. Mine does that all the time whenever I use sites like that. It's only showing the system default on mine too. Yep. So we went to the top and changed it. So now that's what we can do. And then this is where it'll go through and you can see all the ones that we have. So you can really see, how does some of this look? Like, ooh, because sometimes you just want a different variation of your logo, right? Like I like putting these two together, this Indala, right? Indala, and with the background to it. So that's a fun one. I'm just not always sold. The F always kind of throws me off on ones like this. But how does it still look? Like how do I like that? Do I like the art medium brush for it? The baboom. What can we do there? And so it gives you that option to kind of see different versions of things for it, how things pull in, how things look for it. I love some of these, but man, the F's always throw me off. Beyond the Mountains, that one's a fun one. So you go through and that is Word Market. If you haven't, get ready to go down that rabbit hole and see on that. Go down that rabbit hole and see what we got here. Okay. Mine does it all the time. Let's see it showing there 181 versus 1109. Yeah, see, you're set. It's handy if you're not sure what something will look like, especially at 1000%. Having that preview, totally awesome and able to make that work. So good things there. All right. I do have to get to work. We're gonna do a day. I'm gonna put that on the schedule of one of these days. I know things are gonna get crazier, but I don't mind chit chatting with you guys. And Fridays I try and leave as kind of it's kind of a lay low day, a fun day. So maybe we'll have to do that. That's why I think next year, let's get some people in here to join some screens. Maybe I'll send out some drinky poos and we'll have some drinks together on a Black Friday. What do you think about that? And we could have it there and do some stuff. F and I suck in some fonts. Yeah, F and I 100%. F, and that's why I like having the F in our logo because in our name, because we're able to see what it looks like. Because some of them they just do look bad, and I's as well. I's can I's and L's so interchangeable with things. It's bad. So I's and L's, throw them there. Go ahead, Barb. Test it out. See what you like for it. All right. We're gonna get out of here. We got stuff to do. Friday we'll be back here. Maybe we'll have some drinks. Maybe I'll have some coffee. Maybe we'll do whatever. Or we're gonna plan for a big show next year on it. You guys and J's and Q's. Don't forget the Q's too. J's are wonky. So yeah, that site really helps with that. All right, you guys, I'm telling you here, thank you so much for spending so much time with me today. It went way, way, way longer than what we should, but it was a good time. It's always a great learning information and a good time chit chatting with you guys. So have an amazing day. We'll be back here Friday morning. We're probably going to go longer on Friday morning. So if you're looking for some time to kill and we can talk design, do whatever, join us Friday morning for it. You guys have a happy, safe Thanksgiving. See everybody Friday. Peace, love, press on. See you guys.